Following the racist advert posted by Clicks and subsequent EFF protests, Wenzile Madonsela's daughter, Wenzile Madonsela Msimanga, withdrew her support for the party. She says the party's leadership let her down. On Tuesday, former EFF spokesperson Buyiseni Ndlozi exchanged heated words with Wenzile Madonsela over her comments on the protest against the pharmacy. Madonsela Msimanga says she experienced bullying and emotional abuse on social media platforms. She joins us now to reflect on the matter. A very good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on Weekend Dawn. All right, so it seems we might have an issue connecting with her. Are you there? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you once more for joining us on Weekend Dawn. I want to talk about social media bullying, specifically with a party like the EFF. Do you think generally political parties or members belonging to political parties should be held accountable for some of the bullying that comes across on their accounts on Twitter?
Thank you. And I think, yes, that's correct, because essentially politicians, especially members of parliament, are representative of people's power. If you go back to the initial meaning of democracy, demos kratos, it means people and power. So they're using the people's power to abuse the platform that they use to come to whatever objective that they want, without necessarily aligning their actions with what the voters voted for in terms of their behavior and how they present themselves. So I definitely think that they are misusing the platform that they have been given, because Twitter thus far has been accountability free. Yes, we see cases that have gone on to prosecution, but it's a very small percentage. So it renders the political powers unaccountable to anybody, because it's what you call the Twitter streets, where it would be like the version of bootlegging alcohol or doing things underground, because there's no consequences in that. I view the Twitter as a platform that allows people to get away with things that they would never get away with face to face.
So you've chosen to publicly withdraw from the EFF. Does this mean your role in politics or in anything that's got to do with a political party is also null and void?
I believe that's also my political association to determine where to from here. But as I've said, that I joined the EFF as a youth in 2015 because I saw a love revolution. I saw a robust group of intellectual people, learned, who were interested in creating a love revolution which was inclusive of everybody, poor, old, white, black. I didn't sign up for a manifesto that said we hate people as per our own choice and when we choose to hate them. And once you are part of this party, you are mandated to do so. And they then send us as former fighters to do their work vicariously. I mean, the irresponsibility of Julius Malema, who just said attack, and us as former student leaders, we understand what that means. Attack means violence with nomaganjan, whatever way it goes. This is, and whatever means to the end has to be used. We will justify it. But you go and cause disruption, or you go and cause anarchy. So I think my leave had a lot to do with the fact that I could no longer reconcile with the behavior of the EFF. And many people are asking me, why have you waited till this moment to leave? And what have you been doing? I first of all would like to clarify that for 2015, 16, 17, I did serve the party. And once I had my baby girl, I wasn't as active as I was before. But even last year, I was a party agent for a coordinator for 4 different spots. So people who are asking my relevancy also extends to the fact that I have phone calls where the leadership, or the top 5 of the leadership, called to ask me something, most recently being Gordon Gadi on Saturday, this Saturday that Kaiser Chiefs and Pirates were playing different teams. So I find it very irresponsible that they are using our influence, our power, our intellect for their own advantage privately, but publicly they feel that they can humiliate us, and there should be no retaliation. I think that's wrong, and I think that you teach people how to teach you. And at this moment, I am teaching them that we as a family will not be bullied. We will not stand up for bullying. We are strong women, so we are not hurt. But at the same time, there are many other people who are bullied by this organization and don't feel like they have a foot to stand on, because they're alone and they're isolated. And like I said, I think I tweeted earlier on that bullying is it's a form of oppression. We talk about being liberators, freedom liberators. I'm so sorry. They've lost the economic part. They've lost the freedom part. And I just see that they are fighters. They are bullies and oppressors, and they need to be held to account, nomaganja, and even if it is in a legal sense, because what they must understand is just because you're on Twitter, it does not mean that it is accountability or consequence free. So cases of defamation of character and injuria are easily and readily accessible to us as soon as we feel like they've drawn the line, which I feel like there is a borderline. Now it's enough. It's enough. You are crossing the line, and you are bringing your own party to disrepute, because you've got some excellent leaders in your party.
Wenzi, when did the penny drop for you? When was the defining moment? Was it building up a few months ago, or a year or two ago? And what do you think is the reason for the change in the EFF, for them to not bring about the values that you support? Do you think it's a situation of, with great power comes great responsibility, and they squandered that power, considering that they did so well at the polls?
I think the penny on the last straw was the insult to my mother, Advocate Wenzile Madonsela. I was very disappointed that morning when I saw all the tweets, and I saw the support of this attack, attacking her personality, her character, her spirituality, her sexuality, everything that she stands for and everything that she's embodied for years. My mother, since she was the age of 18, became a trade unionist, and up until this moment, she has publicly dedicated herself to South Africa in order to attain social justice. And to see people pulling her apart around things that aren't true, Rupert this, white monopoly capitalist this, your daddy must have been pissed off at what was said quick. It also just shows lazy thinking. And I didn't join a party of lazy thinkers. I joined a party that I believed that the revolution was based on intellect and sober thought. And the kind of comments that were made towards my mother, or umuntu omdala, they don't align themselves with my own values and my own beliefs. Therefore, I have to have integrity and be true to myself. So I think I had seen for a long time the type of behavior that the EFF was exhibiting, and I definitely was uncomfortable with it, because even the clicks thing, the clicksgate, let's call it that, I believe that was also bullying itself, because you are forcing the country to close down. You are forcing people not to come to work. And those who did come to work, some of them, or who did go shopping, some of them were hurt. Some of them were unable to get their medication. And by us not doing anything, we are ratifying these actions and saying that the ends justify the means, and it doesn't. Many people were hurt, but it goes again to show that the EFF will make statements like, we will render this country ungovernable, or we'll bring this country to its knees. as a former law student, I don't see how that constitutionally aligns with any values we have in terms of how we conduct ourselves to attain justice and social justice and so on. Sorry, what was your second question? I'm
Wenzi, I think you did cover it. Thank you so much for your time. Unfortunately, we do have to leave it there. Wenzile Madonsela Msimanga reflecting on some of the events that took place this week, which saw her publicly withdrawing her support for the economic freedom fighters. A big thank you once more to Wenzile for her time.